So second volume type, that is host path. See, by name itself, we can understand host. Host means what? We are storing data in base machine. In base machine. Let me show you. This is my base EC2 instance. And I'll create one pod. This is my pod having container. This is container. I take one folder from container, one folder from base machine. That is what host. This EC2 instance we call host, right? Correct or not? Host. So I take one folder from container, I take one folder from base machine, then I will map. I'll map. That means whatever data you keep here, the data actually will be kept here in your base machine. Will be kept in your base machine. Got it? Okay. This base machine's volume, this you can map to any number of containers. Let's say you have one more container. One more container. So you take that one and you can map like this. Or else you can have one more pod. Let's say you have one more pod having another container. Inside, you take one directory, you map here. So whatever data you keep, that also will be stored here. So here the advantage that we are getting is, even if you lose your container, even if you lose your pod, still my data is safe here. Understanding, right? So host path protects us from pod failures. Host path protects us from pod failures. Okay, even though if you lose your pod, still your data is pretty safe in your host machine. That's why we call it as host path. Understood? Fine. So let's do it now. Now let me create one manifest. You can give any name. I'm giving a name called host path, in which I'm going to paste this script. See how pasted this script. Now I'm creating pod object. You know that comes under version v1 and name of the pod is my pod. Oh, I need to show base machine as well. See, this is my base EC2 instance. Base EC2, that is what we call host. And this is my pod. What is the name of pod? My pod. My pod. Having one container, that is C01. C01. Okay. So image CentOS C01. Inside I'm printing container C01 is running. That's okay. Just I'm doing something in container. Focus is not on that one. Focus is on the volume. Now here you can see host path. Now what type of volume you are creating? Host path volume. So host path volume means what? In your host, you need to take any one directory. You need to take any one directory. Under temp, you can take directory from anywhere. Under temp, host dir. Whatever name you want, you can mention. If it is there, that acts like a volume. If that is not there, that will get created. So you know, right, in my base machine, temp directory is there. Under temp, this directory will get created. Host dir. This will get created if it is not there. You must be thinking, Sai, why are you taking under temp only? You can take anywhere. That is your wish. Okay, you can take under home directory, under etc, under where, that's your wish. But generally, while learning, we don't disturb other directories. Correct? In Windows, if you want to, create any files and folders for testing purpose, generally we don't disturb C drive. We create in E drive, D drive, other drives. Correct? Here also same thing. So the directory host dir will get created in your base machine under temp directory if it is not there. And in containers here, under temp, container directory will get created. CONTDR. Where under temp directory. See, this is the name of this one. This is the name of this one. Clear? Now, for this, the actual directory name is host dir, but it is acting like a volume. For this, you have to give any one name. That is going to be volume name. So I'm giving test volume. For this directory, I'm giving one volume name. What is the name? Test volume. That means this hostdir folder's volume name is test volume. The same name I'm giving here. That means I'm informing to container directory. Hey, container directory, go and get connected to test volume. Means this will get connected. The directory name is hostdir. But now it is acting like a volume. For that volume, we have to give some name. That same volume name we have to give here so that this directory will get connected to this volume. These two should match. Then only these two will get connected. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Over. Now, how to test these things? How to test? So what we do, we'll create one file here. We'll create one file. That file you should be able to see here. Okay. Then we'll test in a reverse way as well. We create one file here that you should be able to see here. That means this volume mounting. Mounting means what? Connection. Mount means connect. That means this volume mount is working fine. So here, even if you lose your container, even if you lose your pod, still your data is pretty safe because you are storing your data in your base machine. That's what host machine. Understood? Let's do it now. As of now, let me delete this data. While creating, I'm going to put the data. Yeah. Let's apply this one. kubectl apply -f hostpath.yml. That's it. Now verify kubectl get all. Yes, you can see my pod is running inside. One container is running absolutely fine. Okay. So in your base machine, I told you right under temp directory, this host dir folder will get created. Sometimes I use folder, sometimes I use directory. You know, both are same, right? So under temp, you should be able to see this host dir. Verify ls/temp. There could be many under temp, there could be many directories. Okay, but you need to focus on your directory that got created. See, host dir got created. That is this one. Fine. So what we do, we'll test. Okay. First, we'll keep some data in base machine. Let me create any file here. Let's say I'm going to create one file called Sai file here. Sai file. Let's create. Now cd temp hosted here. Inside cat Sai file. Hello. Hello DevOps students. Okay. Enter Control D. That's it. So if you do ls, you can see Sai file. That file you should be able to see inside container inside this particular directory. Correct? Okay, let's do it now. Let's exit. We are in base machine only. Okay. Now you know how to go inside container. Already we used the previous command, right? I'm using the same command. Use this command. I'm going inside container 1, inside my pod container 1. That's it. Now cd temp and do ls, you should be able to see container directory. That is this one. And go inside this one container directory and do ls, you can able to see Sai file. Correct? Now open that Sai file. You can see the data. Understanding, right, everyone? We'll test in a reverse way as well. So here, let's create any one file. Let's create any one file. That file you should be able to see from base machine as well. I'll create one file cat greater than maybe Hari file. Here, hello Hari. Anything, whatever you want, you can mention. Enter Control D. So if you do ls, Hari file is there. Now let's come out of the container. Exit. Now you are in base machine. cd temp directory and do ls. We have our hosted here. cd hosted here. Go inside this. Now if you do ls, you should be able to see Hari file. and open that file, you should be able to see the content of the file, right? That means host dir volume is working fine. Fine. That is how things work. kubectl. Done. This host path volume, it helps you from pod failures. Earlier mtdr helps you from container failures only, but not pod failures. But here it will help you from pod failure. Even though if you lose your pod, still your data is pretty safe. But in mtdr, if you lose your pod, you lose your data as well, because there we used to store the data inside pod, but here we are storing data in our base machine. Got it? But now the question is, Sai, what if I lose my base machine as well? What if I lose my host? Then I will lose our data. Correct or not? Then how to protect data? Even if I lose my machine, I want my data back. So to resolve this problem, we have third type of volume. That is what? Persistent volume. That is what? PV, persistent volume. This will help you in protecting your data from base machine failure as well.